friends, welcome back. A few months ago, I found out about a way to test your gut microbiome health from home. So I did that testing and then I shared the results of that testing here in a video. I'll link it here or here somewhere if you want to check it out. And I said then that I would do a follow-up video because along with that testing came dietary recommendations to improve my gut health and specific targeted supplement recommendations, probiotics, that were also supposed to improve my gut health. What I did is I followed those dietary recommendations loosely, not 100%, and I took the supplements pretty religiously, 100%. And I did that for 3 months, and then I retested. So what this video here is today is showing you if any of that was worth it. Is my gut health in a better place now as a result of having done the testing and implementing the recommendations and suggestions that came along with that? And stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to share my exact reports with you. So I'll put them up as B-roll on the screen so you can see everything that I saw and why I think people will find this helpful, why I hope you will find this helpful, is that it's way more detailed than I ever realized. And there's a lot of information in there that helps us inform our decision-making about our diet. And it shows what we should be looking for in our gut health, where things can go wrong, and then also how to address those things naturally when they do come up. And just before we dive into those results, a quick refresher on gut microbiome health in case you need it. So what our gut microbiome is trillions of microorganisms that live in our intestinal tract. And these microorganisms have a significant impact on our overall health and well-being. And if you've seen any of my videos about my recovery or read my book, cheeky book plug, then you probably know that addressing my gut health was a pretty significant part of my recovery from chronic fatigue syndrome, or ME/CFS. It wasn't the only factor that led to my recovery, but it was a big piece of it, and addressing my gut health helped me dramatically in that process. So when I initially went to work on my gut health and made those massive improvements that helped me recover from ME/CFS, some of the specific improvements in my health that I saw when doing this, number one was my immune system got really a lot stronger than it used to be. I used to catch every single thing that went around. Like if someone around me was sick, I was sure I was gonna get it. It was really depressing. And I felt like a bad human because I'd see someone, say my husband, get sick, and my first thought was, oh man, now I'm gonna get this. When my first thought probably should have been, oh, I'm so sorry that you're not feeling well. But when you've been chronically ill for a long time, to layer on another illness is no joke. So addressing my gut health dramatically improved my immune system. I almost never get sick now, which is amazing. And I also used to get recurring UTIs and yeast infections just all the time. It was getting really bad. And once I improved my gut health, they completely stopped. And this was a few years ago, and I have not had one since. Not one, just completely a thing of the past. It also helped me with food. I didn't realize how many of my food cravings were coming from the gut dysbiosis, that imbalance that I was living with, and they were sending signals and controlling my whole body and getting me to grab foods that were really unhealthy, sugary foods, processed foods. And once my gut health was in better shape, food stopped feeling like a battle, which is just amazing. So now I can more or less, I'm not perfect, but more or less take or leave unhealthy food, and it's not the battle that it used to be. So those were some of the benefits that I saw, and I want to share with you as well some of the clinically proven, scientifically backed benefits that can come from addressing your gut health and improving your gut microbiome. So one is better digestion. It can help prevent irritable bowel syndrome and leaky gut syndrome. Also, it helps you with sustainable energy. So it can boost alertness without getting, the caffeine crashes or the jitters when you try and use things like coffee or sugar. It can help you with your heart health. And as I found, also helps you with year-round immunity. So it supports the body against colds and viruses. It also can improve your metabolism by addressing the inflammation that causes weight gain, and it can help you to balance your mood. It increases your serotonin to help enhance your overall mental wellness. So in the past, doing any kind of gut health testing, any kind of stool analysis was really a process. If you've been through it, then you know you had to go to a doctor. First, you have to make an appointment, come in and see him, make your case, hope he'll approve or put in the request for the tests. And then you have to go to a lab, they give you a container, you take the container home, you have to fill it with poop. And it was just like a messy process. They didn't give you anything to help with that, just a container to fill. Ugh. And then you had to take this container of poop, carry it with you back through the city, bring it back to a lab, very awkwardly hand it to a stranger and go, "Here's my poop." Anyways, it was not fun. And for me, getting really detailed analysis was really, really expensive, cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So thankfully, the at-home health testing industry is booming. So now you can get all of this sorts of stuff done from home. It's not just gut microbiome testing. You can do a specific testing around parasites. You can do blood work from home, all sorts of stuff. So I have been doing this testing through a company called Ombre. My first video was a sponsored video, but this one is not, just an update for you. I'll link everything for it in the video description, and I have an affiliate link that will get you a discount if you're interested. Just throw the price out right now in case you're curious. It's $99.99 in US dollars regularly on their website, but with the affiliate link that I have for you to use, it will get you a discount and it will be $69.99, so about $70 US. So really not too bad. All right, so drum roll, results time. Was any of this worth it? Did it help? Is my gut in better health now than it was a few months ago? Let's dive into my results. I'll show you my screen and let's see what's there. So we go to their website. This is where you see your results. They lay it all out for you very clearly. So we can see my first gut health testing that I did a few months back, my score was 74, and now my score is 86. So the short version of all of this is that yes, it did help. There were improvements, and it seems my gut is in better shape than it was before. Now they'll give you a whole bunch of details about what bacteria you've got right now. I don't find this part particularly useful. They'll show you some symptoms that you may be experiencing. They give you food recommendations based on whatever your most recent testing is. So they'll give you foods they recommend adding into your diet. They tell you, what it is and what it will help to improve. So going through things like vegetables, fruits and berries, legumes, nuts and seeds, different meats, fish. They even tell you your top 5 alcohol. Happy to see rosé is still allowed. And then they also tell you foods to avoid. So things that are going to not help you improve your gut health overall. So again, they break it down into a bunch of different categories and give you some recommendations. Now, the first video that I did sharing these results, I talked about the premium option. You can upgrade to premium for an extra 10 US dollars. And in my first video, I said I didn't think it was worth it. But since having spent more time looking at what they give you, I have since very much changed my mind. Last time I was spending too much time looking in this region, which gives you a whole bunch of data that I feel was just too much for me, like specific bacteria to improve. And I thought, what am I supposed to do with this? This is just overwhelming. But if you keep scrolling and spend some time in this area at the bottom, there's some really cool stuff in here. So for example, food intolerance. So when we look at this here, it shows you based on what microorganisms are in your gut, what food you're going to be able to manage to digest and what's going to cause you problems. So my gluten tolerance is not good. It's in the poor range. So I should really be staying away from gluten, which I don't always. But my lactose intolerance is okay. I'm really quite high. So dairy products probably okay for me. And then things like artificial sweeteners are okay. And then it gives you information on intestinal permeability, or leaky gut syndrome, which is something I was diagnosed with when I first got sick. And this gives you a score. I won't get into all the details of how they come up with that score. You can take a look on their website. But my gut is in much better health, it would seem, than it used to be. Not perfect, but I don't have massive issues with leaky gut syndrome, which is incredible. We can look at metabolism. Now this is what I found the most interesting, because so many of us have so much confusion over what we should eat. We have high carb diets, we have high protein diets, high fat diets, and I'm honestly never really sure what I'm supposed to be doing. But this shows me what my gut right now have been different in the past, might be different in the future, but right now, what it's equipped to deal with. So carbs, I've got a 75, I'm in the green. It seems that I can handle carbs quite well. And I always seem to do better when I eat a higher carb diet. We look at fats. It seems I'm also able to handle fats really well, which is excellent. Then we look at the proteins, and my protein score is very low. I've got a 40 and it's red. Red can't be good. And when I did my full recovery from ME/CFS, switching to a plant-based diet help me tremendously. But this helps me to potentially understand why maybe that diet works really well for me, but might not work very well for some other people. So I think this information is really just invaluable. Another interesting one was sleep hormones. So if you're currently having trouble sleeping, this information could be good. It shows you how well your gut handles GABA and serotonin. So my GABA score is high. My serotonin score is not very high. So it says this doesn't necessarily mean that I am low in serotonin. It just reflects how my gut is responding to it. So, and they do have recommendations for all of these things for what you can do if they're low to make them better. Food recommendations and so forth. Vitamin absorption I also found really interesting because we know it doesn't really matter what we're eating if we're not absorbing the vitamins. So this looks at K vitamins and B vitamins, so those are good. And vitamin K, not so good at all. And vitamin B12, my vitamin B12 absorption isn't good either. So I guess it doesn't matter how much I'm taking in. If my gut can't handle it, there's some work to be done there. And last one, maybe just take a look at inflammation. That's always a big one. So again, there's a lot of information here, but just to have a snapshot view, we can look at the scores. We've got 80 here in the green. We've got another 80. And then we've got a 40. So worth taking some time to take a look at what's happening in my body with inflammation. Overall, it seems like it's handling it well, but there is some room for improvement. So overall, I am really happy that I did this testing. I found it really helpful. It was really useful information. The whole process is very user-friendly, and it removes quite a bit of the confusion for me around my diet and around my gut health. And I do love that most of what they do, or most of what they recommend, is around diet, just making changes to your diet to improve your gut health. So if you'd also like to learn more about what's happening in your gut and have a better understanding of your current state of gut health, you can use that affiliate link in the video description and get a discount. I will make a small commission. I appreciate the support, and I hope you find it as helpful as I have. Again, it's normally $99.99, so about $100 US, but with the affiliate link, you'll get it for $69.99, which really isn't too bad. And at the time of this recording, this specific company, Ombre, only ships tests to the US. But if you are looking at ordering some of their specific probiotic formulas, those they do ship to the US, Canada, the UK, Australia, and New Zealand. As I mentioned earlier, the at-home testing industry is booming. So if this particular company isn't available where you live, I definitely recommend doing a quick Google search, because I suspect there's something in your area that's available for you as well. And big hugs to you. Thank you for watching. As always, whatever you're currently facing, whatever life is currently throwing at you, hang in there. A reminder that you have totally got this. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope to see you in the next one.